Hi everyone, I'm going to experiment with textures today, and I've got my back-to-back journal that I'm working now on. So I'm still working on it, but I thought for this experiment I will do already the cover for my this journal, and I'm going to use a cereal box. So I've got it flattened, and I'm just going to cut this in one place. It's a good thing to do an experiment on something like this, which is not expensive, and you won't cry on it if it doesn't work. So I'm just placing my art journal, and I'm leaving a little bit, almost a centimeter. Just I like my cover to be a little bit more than my art journal, so I'm going to mark. I already know that I'm going to cut here where the fold is, and going to mark here. And if you are following my videos, you know I don't like to measure, so there isn't going to be any measuring. I'm just going to cut away. Now I'm going to do two pieces, the front and the back, but I'm not going to do the spine. I don't want to use this for the spine. It's too wide for what I will have at the end, so I know that I won't use it. Of course, I'm not throwing it away. It will probably be used for something else. And I'm using my cutting mat. Wait, I need to take this out. Okay. So just aligning it with the lines on my mat, and just cutting it. There we go. Again, aligning and cutting. Okay, so now I've got one piece, and I'm going to do the same thing and cut another piece. And where is it? Here we go. Now I can just trace here. So I will have the back. So I'm going to cut this piece, and I will be back. I'm back. So I've got these two pieces, front and back, and I'm going to work on them together. Then I won't have to try and match things between the two sides. So to work on them together, I'm just going to place them like so, and put masking tape on the back, just so it won't really move when I'm working on it. Here we go. So that's my canvas to work on. This is my paper. Of course, what I'm trying to do and going to experiment and do, you can do in your art journal. It doesn't have to be a cover. So I first want some texture to my back and in the background, and I have a lot of tissue paper and some of it in awful colors like this one. So what I was thinking is just using it in the background to as texture, and I'm gonna glue it all over, and when it's dry I'm just going to gesso all over it. So now I'm gonna put a lot of glue here. This is white glue with a little bit of water just to help it along. And since I'm gluing things and not painting on this cereal box, then I didn't need to sand this cover. Usually if you want to paint on this, you need to sand it first, because it has some kind of, it's laminated and it's a little bit glossy, so it's better to sand it and put gesso. So here we go, and I'm giving it even a little bit more wrinkling by moving the page. And right now I'm not putting yet glue on top, and you'll see in a minute why. And I tore it here, it doesn't matter, you can take later a little piece like so and glue where it tore. Now I'm just flipping it over, and I'm going to glue here. Now it won't be connected once it will be a cover. There will be a spine in between these two pieces, but it's easier for me to work on them as one piece, and at the end I will cut here and separate the two pieces. So again, I'm putting down glue. It doesn't have to be nice and straight and I don't know, just putting it down. This will all be covered, so you don't have to worry. Here we go. This also, once it's dry, I will go all over this with glue to seal it. Right now it's just covering. Here we go. Now it needs to dry. Now this tissue paper is kind of thin, so sometimes you feel like the glue is seeping out of it. So it's best to lay it either on something that doesn't stick, or place it like this so it can dry without sticking to other things. So I'm moving it aside and continuing with the next phase of this experiment. I bought sandpaper from the cheap store, and here I've got sheets of sanding paper, and it's got several I don't know what to call it, they differ in the how coarse they are. I've got like this one is 120, this one is 80, and I have 60, and I thought that that's basically my experiment. I want to try and cut shapes out of it and make a more interesting texture to my background. So that's the experiment for today. Now I'm looking at these sheets, and although this is like 120 and this one is 60, I just don't see any difference. So I'm not going to bother with changing between them. I'm just going to start drawing shapes in the back, and I'm again doing leaves. I like it, and so I'm just drawing leaves, and I'm going to cut them and use them, and I'm doing several. I will do several sizes. I'm thinking of even layering them one on top of each other and playing with it, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. Let's see, let's do a small one so I can show you what I'm talking about layering. Here we go. I'm thinking of doing things like that to add more layering, more texture to my page. So basically this is it. I need to cut quite a lot of this quite a lot of leaves. And don't worry about the scissors. It's good for scissors to cut through sandpaper. It just makes them more sharp. So instead of ruining them, it just makes them better. So there is no problem with using it. Let's see. I need to cut smaller ones. Like so. So I'm going to continue cutting them. Now I'm thinking maybe I can use punch on them. I'm not sure. I hope I won't ruin. Let's see. I'll do one and hope for the best. Let's see if it will work, because I want some circles also. It works. What do you know? So I'm going to have circles also. How lovely. He doesn't want to get out. Okay, I'll get back to you once I have all these pieces together, and my tissue paper will be dry, and I also need to put gesso on it, and I'll be back. I'm back. So I've made a lot of these circles, and I've punched two sizes and glued to each other, and lots of leaves, again the two sizes and glued to each other. And I'm putting this aside and going back to my cover. I'm putting down, this is a silicone mat, it's for baking. I'm using it to do things that I don't want to stick, like I'm going to cover this whole thing with glue to seal everything in, and I don't want it to stick while it's drying, so that's why I'm using the silicone mat. And no, we don't have here the craft non-stick mat, and ordering it, the shipment is even is more expensive than the product itself, so I'm making do with what I have, and I managed to buy this silicone mat from the cheap store, so it was even cheap, so I don't care. It works for me. So most of the times things I can find things in the baking aisle in the cheap store that are the same as for craft. Like there are stencils for baking, and they are cheaper than buying stencils that are for craft, and all kinds of silicone things work great with the mixed media. Like they are, I'm always using silicone coasters and silicone trivet, and so it really is a great thing to look for in the baking aisle. And in the hardware aisle, I also find a lot of things that I can use in my craft, and it's just cheaper. So everything is sealed, and I've got a lot of texture, but without all the wrinkles are glued, so there won't be a problem later on when I'm going to work on it. So I'm leaving it to dry, and I'll be back once everything is dry to continue with this experimental project. I'll be back. I'm back. So this is a dry, and I've got my circles that I'm going to glue now, and I'm not trying to do the front and back symmetrical, just playing around. And this is basically an experiment, so we'll see if it will what will come out of it, and if I will really use it as the cover to my art journal. Depends on the outcome, of course. So basically I'm just gluing down the pieces. I don't really care where they are going, and I've got here a twine, like burlap twine, that I'm going to do like stems with it. And again, just putting down glue, and I'm thinking I'm going to insert it a little bit under my circle, and I'll trim the excess later, it will be easier. So here we go. I don't have to worry about too much glue. Everything is going to get covered with gesso. And I've already got a lot of texture here, so it really doesn't matter. I still got the leaves that I need to also glue, but first I'm going to put down the stems. Here we go. And now I'm just playing with the leaves wherever it seems like they should be. Again, no particular reason, just playing around. So I'm going to glue uh, all the leaves and all the stems, and it's a good thing that it's not completely dry everything. So like here I can insert the leaf under the stem like so. Here we go, and let's put another one. Nothing is planned. I'm just playing around. Here we go. So I'm going to continue gluing down all these pieces, and then I'll come back and it will be the gesso to cover everything. I'll be back. I'm back. Now everything is glued down, and I want to cover everything with the gesso, but I'm going to dilute it a little bit, because I think if I'm putting it down as is, it will lessen the texture I have on my page. So I'm adding a little bit of water to my gesso. We'll see how it goes. And basically I'm just going over everything, and I'm trying to spread it in thin layer so I won't lose my texture, and to all sides, because I needed to get inside all the wrinkles that I have in the back. Now because I sealed the tissue paper with glue, there is a chance that I will get crackle, because glue underneath gesso will give you crackle most of the time, but it depends on so many things. It depends on the consistency of the glue, the consistency of the gesso, so there is a chance. I don't care either way if I have crackle or I don't. So just so you will know, if you are trying to attempt it, if you have glue underneath gesso, and it can be it can make crackle, and if you don't want it, don't do the glue as a sealer. So basically I'm just going over everything with the gesso. So I'll be back when this is all covered and dry. I'm back. So I've been waiting for this to dry, and I've been arguing with myself what kind of paint do I want here, and now I'm thinking I'm going to spray it. I thought I will paint each one individually, but now I just want to spray with several colors, and I want to see how it goes. And I've got here art spray by Marabou, mixed media, and let's see if I can see that this is what petrol. And I've got, why do they have to Bordeaux, and why do they have to do it so small so you can't see anything, and some kind of turquoise. So I'm just going to spray it. Let's hope everything will work. So many times it just clogs. I'm thinking I want it to spread, so maybe I should spray it with water, and now it's decided to not work. Of course, why make my life easy? Ah, I'll just put some with a paintbrush because I really don't have time for it. I should probably let it drip a little, but right now I more want it to spread than drip. Here we go. Yeah, maybe a little bit here. And I'm thinking I'm gonna let it be, in terms of let it soak, and we'll see what happens with all this texture in the background, and we'll see what happens. I need to let it just dry and hope for the best. So I'll be back once it's dry. Hold your fingers, it will work. I'll be back. Hi everyone, I'm back, and while I was waiting for the sprays to dry, my phone decided to quit on me, and now I'm returning after I charged it, and it took a while and it was very frustrating. Now I've started working on this side because I'm not completely satisfied with the results. It's really nice, the color in the background, but I wanted more. So I took the same colors in acrylic paints and started to add here and there more color to my background and to my images, and I'll show you what I've done. I've just picked a little bit of color, like here, the magenta, and what I'm doing is most of the time I'm doing underneath and to the side, I'm doing the darker color, and like this, and in a minute I'll add a white to this and do the other side, the opposite of it. Added white and doing like this, and you can hear my kids in the background. Here we go. Where I'm working is an open floor, so everything that goes in the house you can hear. And now I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to move to the greens that I'm using. And again, I'm taking the darker color and putting on the underside of my leaves, like so. And I'm taking the lighter color now and adding in the middle, and I will take white with it in a minute and do on top of the leaves, like so, just to give more interest and dimensionality to the items I've got here. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. And now I'm taking the lighter green and I'm putting it here, just playing. There is no rules to this. Here we go. Now in several places in the background I also wasn't satisfied with the magenta color, so I'm just going in again with the same brush and just adding where I think it needs to be more darker and more pronounced. Again, there is no rules to it. It just do what you feel when you're doing it. That's the best explanation I have. And now I'm going to, I need more of the darker green. This is the ocean green, and I'm going to go over the stems to make them more pronounced on my page, just like this. Now I'm really liking the texture that I have in the background from the tissue paper, and I'm thinking that I want to make it more pronounced, more dramatic, and I'm thinking that I'm going to take a risk and take a black ink pad and go over all the wrinkles. Of course, I need first that everything that I've just painted to be dry before I'm attempting it, but that's the basic idea of what I'm planning for this cover. Okay, so these are my flowers, and let's see, maybe I want more of the magenta. Just a little bit more here. Yeah, in several places it just went and almost turned white, so that's the places where I'm now adding a little bit more. Yeah. Yes, this is it. I'm thinking that's it. I need to learn to stop sometime. I keep adding, and my light is not so good right now. I don't have daylight, and I also have a problem with the light in the room, but we shall overcome. I want to finish this piece. I really like it, and it's starting to take shape, so I want to finish it today. So this is basically what I've done. I'm waiting for this to dry, and then I'm going to attempt the black ink pad on all these wrinkles. I'll be back. I'm back and it's dry. I'm going to try now the black ink pad to pick up all these wrinkles, and I'm Going to try first with a paintbrush because I'm afraid I won't have control, and I already see that it doesn't work with the paintbrush. And let's see if I've got some makeup sponge that will work. Let's see, makeup sponge, and I've got here a archival ink. I'm kind of afraid that it won't pick on only the wrinkles. I don't want it covering everything. I just want it to pick the wrinkles. So I don't know, it doesn't work so well. I'm switching. I've got what's this? Carters. I don't know. Something I ordered, and let's see if this will be more intense in picking up the creases. Maybe. I just need to be careful so I won't turn everything here to gray. Let's try again with the paintbrush. No, doesn't pick it. Okay, so I just need to continue with gently with the makeup sponge to give more definition to all these wrinkles. So I'm going to continue doing it, and I will get back when I'm finished, because this is going to take quite some time, and it's boring to watch me do the same thing over and over again. I'll be back. I'm back. I've finished with the ink pad, and I do think it's more dramatic. I think it added a little bit more to all with the wrinkles. Now I'm taking a black acrylic paint, and I'm just gently going here. I don't know why. Just seemed to me like it needs something, and maybe not with acrylic. Maybe I need some kind of permanent marker. So let's see what I've got. Just adding a little bit more definition. Yeah. Sometimes you just need a little bit of black for everything to pop from your page. So here we go. Yeah, maybe underneath, yeah, a little bit like so. Just a little bit more. let's take a step back. Yeah, I quite like it, and I'm thinking this is it. Don't mess more with it. And that's my cover. I will when I will get to do the cover, of course I will cut it here, and I will do a spine. I'll do a whole video again about doing the cover for the art journal. But this is it, and although I did a cover for an art journal, this can be done in a regular page in your art journal. And I quite like this wrinkly background. So, and the textures that I've added, don't know if I will use again the sandpaper, but it was nice for this experiment. So this is it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving me comments below, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.